we are going to record the session, but all the participants have to close their live stream signal because
It provokes echo.
okay.
Okay. I cannot see Urska and I can see Hasem now. Javier, would you like to present yourself, please?
Hello? Hi, can you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi from Córdoba. It's Javier. I don't have my students today. They are far away, many miles away. I'm an architect working in Córdoba, based here. I'm also lecturer in Limerick, in which we are having a group of students doing the Hamar experience. So I know some of you, well, we had the opportunity to meet physically last week, Paco and Ethel, and then I think I can recognize someone else in the chat. Sure, well, Francesco for sure, and someone else. Oh yeah, we met. Yeah. Well, let's see. Looking forward for the production of the session.
Okay.
So we have to make one rule. It's good that Javier give the word to Hassan, but we have to lead
the conversation.
The conversation. So we give you your
time.
Your turn, okay? And then we have sorry about my English. More than an hour, it's hard for me. Go on, Hassan. Sorry.
Hassan, can you present yourself, please? Then we can make the group of questions.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'm Hazem Mahden from Egypt, fresh graduate from Ain Shams University. Okay, I think I've met Javier in a Google Hangout. It was an introduction of the other workshop, Public Space and People. That's it. I'm interested also in parametric design and ecological design as well. Yeah, just okay.
Okay.
So the next.
Francesco, but I think
Francesco, a brief description about you.
Okay. I will start by saying that Azim, me too, I am very interested in parametric design. By the way, maybe I'm not related with DreamHammer, but I actually live in 15 minutes for a parametric design workshop in Turin. So I will let you with Urska, who will help you with the session. I'm here I'm coordinating online workshop from Ecosystem Urbano, and so you can, if you need help for something or you need information about online workshops, okay, I'm looking at the chat. You can write me at dreamhammer@gmail.com. So that's it. Maybe if I can, I would participate in the workshop, sharing with you my personal thought, because I'm quite. I didn't work on the design phase here at Ecosystem because I was working on the digital layer. So I would be happy to give my ideas and share them with you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Francesco.
Thank you.
I don't know, Urska can talk because we cannot see her.
No, the idea is that Urska is just managing the Google chat. She doesn't have a webcam now, so
okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So
we were thinking that we will be more people here, and we're planning to start exchanging ideas and wanted to know what all of the participants expect of the workshop. So maybe we can start with Fabricio.
Thank you. Well, I'm expecting a good experience, a good collective debate about our project, our project of this place. I think also that it is a very good experience for my students and for my collaborators.
Okay, thank you, Fabricio.
Well, in Spanish I can speak better, but in English.
Don't worry, we understood perfectly.
Perfectly.
Okay, Javier, what about you? What is your approach or your ideas or your expectations about the workshop?
Mainly two sides. One is, I think, for example, when I proposed this in the School of Architecture to implement or to try the experience with the students, everybody was quite interested. At the same time, they were very interested on the online possibilities of doing kind of a non-physical workshop, but they were also very reluctant. So it's a good way to test how these things can be used in maybe in a more academic environment. So I'm very happy to share the experience with all of you, and also on the scope of the workshop itself. I think it's of course, as I said on the chat before, we have to redefine our role in society. All these ideas are very related to that, so it's a very good way. In this case, even is much better because it's related to an actual project that is going to happen in Norway. So I think we are going to deal in the academic world, of the real design space, and also in kind of new systems of communication. So I think it's quite complete. A lot of things to cover and a lot of expectations.
Okay. Thank you, Javier. And Hassem, what about you? Because this is not so parametric, but it can be related.
Yeah, I believe in sharing an open source architecture, and so I'm interested in making this experiment with my workshop with different background people from different background working in a different climate, which is very interesting to me, and also meet other people which can interact and make other ideas and new ideas come true. In the public space, now recently I've been interested in public spaces after the uprising in Egypt and other Arab countries, and even in Spain, having people gathered in squares and make political, asking for the rights and something like this. So, in this essence, I want to. It was my role as an architect in bringing this piece back to people, and that people can interact with using new technologies and using the spaces.
So
okay, well, we're going to welcome Sarah. Hi, Sarah. I give a brief update to you. We were the first round. We were presenting each other, and then we were talking about the expectations you have about the workshop. So maybe you can do both things at the same time, please.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Sara from Pescara in Italy. Well, I was looking at the PDF about the Softogeth square with all the diagrams. And but I think that the idea of a ring of facilities around the square is very simple, but it works. It works good, and I think that our role should be to design some layers or some objects in the square.
Okay.
And what's your...
Well, she already said that
Okay,
she
sorry.
was from Italy and... Okay, wait a minute, please. We have a bad sound, Urska. By the way, we were listening quite good, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yes? Can you say something, Sarah, to see if there is some problem with your micro?
You have to...
Sorry?
Can you say, I don't know, whatever you want? Testing, 1, 2, 3, just to check your sound, please.
Do. Can you hear me? What to say?
Okay. Oh, Sarah left? Yes, I think. Están todos hablando, creo, y no tienen sonido. Yes.
No, no está contando.
Ah.
Just a minute. Fabrit,
No.
answer.
Vale.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we are testing only. Can you say Sarah is going out?
Sarah,
And it's going in.
a nice. Okay.
So we are trying to make a thing that really don't know if it's going to work. So we are going to try to share the presentation. Francesco, just one question.
Yes, I'm here.
Have you shared a keynote or an image in Google Hangout? Is it possible?
No, I don't know how to do it. I think we can share YouTube videos, but I don't know how to share images.
Okay, so
I don't think you can share your screen.
Okay, so let's explain by words
Yes. The methodology.
the methodology. So, and the image will be in the next session. So, we have a question that is, what will you do in the store target? And this question has always answered by architects putting artifacts and leading the process with subjects. What I'm trying to say. Well, I'm an architect and I'm thinking about a square and I'm going to make some sort of artifact to activate the square. So we are going to, sorry, it's Francesco on the screen.
Yes. Oh.
It's we are going to ask for the participants to make some task researching on internet and why not on analogical ways.
Yes, of course, they're complementary.
To fill up the 4 workshop tags. I read them again. Narrative and storytelling, community and collective, documentation and archive, and open peer-to-peer design or network design. So, week by week, we are going to share at least 3 projects in our blogs. I mean, it could be the Ethel blog, it could be the Tumblr of Ethel, could be my blog. It might be Fabrizio's blog, or if you don't have a blog, I think people of Ecosistema
can give you a space in the Dreamhammer blog, no?
Of tactical urbanism, and we are going to facilitate people to share these projects. I'm tired. So.
Oh, that's great, Urska. Thank you very much. Urska is offering that we can put the study cases in the Dreamhammer blog, so we can have just one space with all the material. So even if we're going to present on the sessions some case study and explain it deeper, we want to know which is your approach to these tags and listen to you, your ideas about these kind of projects and urban strategies.
Maybe a round of questions would be fine. Don't
you
think?
Yes, of course.
So let's start for Fabrizio. Have you any question about this?
I will use the blog of the workshop of the tactical urbanist for share projects, drawing, sketches, etc.
Yes.
Because, well, I have another not urban hybridization. I think not. But I have another. Is my own website, FabrizioZanni.net. But I think that is better, is more simply to use the blog of this workshop.
It's
for share information or data, etc. Work. Unfortunately, the timetable of the workshop, not the timetable, but the day of the week of tactical urbanism is not my day of for the students. It's Friday all day and Tuesday at the afternoon. Well, I will make a sort of people from the work of my taller, my course, and the workshop, and you all.
Okay, thank you, Fabrizio.
I don't know if it's clear or no.
Yes, it is.
Just one thing.
If you want, I have also some words about the design approach. The design in my school, the design approach is very hard because it's various based on urban analysis and morphology or typology, etc. The knowledge of a site, of a context, an urban context, and is it is based over the physical structure of a context of an urban site. Yes. Well, I hope that with this dialogue we can make insert some movement in this approach.
Sure, we will do, I think.
We,
Okay.
And
Thank you, Francisco.
I don't understand
Okay.
in come si dice, totally
Yes.
this sequence: narrative, community, documentation, person to person. Can you explain more
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Let's go.
this text? Thank
Okay.
you.
We're here.
thank you, Fabrizio. First of all, we are glad to have two special participants, Fabrizio and Javier. They are teachers on their own schools. Fabrizio is from the Politecnico of Milano, and Javier works at the University of Limerick. So we have a special task for them because we think that other people in the workshop hasn't a team like you. So we are encouraging to make the effort to be the curator of your students and share part of the works of your student. So you have two works: to participate and to be the curator of your students. And that's all. I'm going to try to explain better what are we trying to find out with that tax. We have made a research and we have shared some of this research. This research, it's not only Ethel and Paco's research, it's open and distributed research. Mimi Seeger and other authors.
Yes.
So,
You can see them in the recommended readings we wrote in the last post at Dreamhammer Tactical Urbanism blog. Go on. Just talking about Mimi Seeger and
So we think that we have 4 bundles for our studies of I think I'm sorry. 4 bundles for our cases of studies. There are some projects that are better in the narrative way to tell how are they doing on internet, on papers, on media, on mass media. So
there is always an idea hidden behind every project, but it's really interesting to know how people share it with a narrative behind. So we want to know which kind of projects you can find that has this storyline, and when the design tells you something, it not only acts on the place, but it communicates something. This is the meaning of the bundle of narrative and storytelling. Where sometimes, for example, you can see the work they did at Dreamhammer painting the square. It has a narrative because you can see the flow of painting, the people doing it, and the way the painting has been done takes you in one axis and not in the another. So all of these are examples of narrative. So is the first homework is to find projects that can be shared with a narrative inside them.
Thank you, Javier. Public space project, yes, but mostly because we know, how can I say cubierta? ¿Cómo es?
Roof.
We know that there are many projects on the roof of the buildings, and they are private spaces, but they have common values to share them. Okay, not only squares, streets, so we can pick up whatever we want.
Yes. In the next session, just talking about the methodology, we are going also to share a selection made by us. So the interesting thing could be the common links we find in your research and in ours, and how can we learn from them, and the next hour start designing with so many ideas in mind. This is the approach that we want to have with this research made by us, but also by you. Anybody has another question? Sarah, that you came a little bit late, you want to talk a little bit and share your ideas?
Well, I don't know. I have to think a little bit about all this new stuff. So, actually, I don't have a clear question to do. I have to reflect a little bit about all these things.
Okay. Please also remember that to do the best with the 2 hours we're going to have the next week. Also, if you have previous comments or questions, you can find us on Twitter or in the blog, because it's really important when you reflect on all of this and your research, that if you have some doubts, we can talk. There is the digital tools for that, so we can have the best of the 2 hours and not start then just exchanging some bluff ideas. We can go directly to the approach we have, because it's a small time and we want to have the best of that time.
So from Twitter to email. So from the last communication technology to the email, because we know that sometimes it's better to write it down an email than a Twitter. Okay. Hello, Sylvia. We have made some presentations. Can you do your one?
Hi, Sylvia.
And what are your expectations?
No, we're not listening. Pica, a ver qué sale ahí. Sí.
I think Sylvia is looking at her computer, looking for the trouble. Can you try again, Sylvia? And speak loudly.
No, it's not working.
It's not working,
no.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk a little bit with Hasem while you find the microphone. Hey, you're here. Can you speak again?
You're listening to me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why there was microphone off. I'm sorry. I didn't find out you before on Google Plus. I don't know why.
Well, okay, you're welcome. Now, the first things we did was just make a brief presentation and talk about the expectations you have of the workshop. So if you can tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yes. I've read some of the posts you suggest, and so I've looked for. I look up a lot of projects on urbanism all around the world, and I found them really interesting. And I hope we will do something like that. So something that move people to go in this place, so in this square, and to activate the collectivity. And but I think that's really a lot already. So I hope it will work.
Yes, I'm sure. We are a lot of minds thinking together and exchanging comments, so something good will comes up.
Okay.
So we are going to hear Hazem. Is it right, Hazem, as I pronounce it?
Okay. My question is about the project, the 3 projects which will be displayed on the top. It's okay to find any project anywhere in the world, right?
Yes.
And the other thing, can I take a case study, but not a project? It's like a place which is very livable and people communicate, but it's not an architecture project.
Yes.
No architect designed it, but just a project.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear this. So go on.
Okay, that's it. That's my 2 questions. Then okay, that's it.
Yes, well, it's okay. Just that way, you can find projects from everywhere, because we are from everywhere, and that's the whole concept behind network design, to know how to extract the best of each project, to analyze and to design based on these things, not copying and pasting, because we have to adapt it to the context. But the most you know projects, the most ideas you get. So it's a good exchange of ideas and information.
Just remember, if you are watching the live stream, you have to shut it down, because you will hear noise, echoes, and something like that. So we have 10 minutes to go.
I don't know if Sylvia was here when we talk about the homework.
The task, not homework, please.
Just kidding. Because the 2 professors have a homework. Okay, Sylvia, just briefly, to not repeat everything, we have tell everybody to find at least 3 projects worldwide that you can classify on the tags narrative storytelling, places that you think that has a different way of communicating itself, because you can read some story behind the design or behind the way people use them. So it is very subjective, but that's what we want, to exchange some ideas from everywhere. In the chat you have the tags.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
I wrote it before.
Yes. And also no, I just finishing. Also, if you didn't have a blog, or you can send it to Ecosistema Urbano Dreamhammer Tactical Urbanism blog, and we can have all the material archived there. So Urska was telling us that we can use that blog for exchange projects and ideas before the meeting. So we have all.
And feel free, like internet. If you want to make a new blog for this project, you can do it.
Or a Tumblr.
Whatever. But something like you can publish and we can go there and comment and share and work together and not only hear these two kind of pro-amateur teachers trying to explain things in English.
It's not so bad.
Not so bad.
So we don't know if that it's clear for next week. And Urska, we want to ask you if it's going to be possible to send the other participants this idea of research, because not everybody is here in the Hangout. Yes. Okay, I don't know if Javier wants to say something else. You have been very quiet in the last minutes. Go on.
It's quite clear for us. So I will gather the reference from the students, and then we will upload it on the Dreamhammer blog. Should we have to do long descriptions or very brief ones? Just let the students know.
I think it's better to be brief, but I think you, with your student, have to feel free about how they work and what are you going to gather this information. I think it's important for us that everyone take his or her own path to do the task. We are not going to put a fill out or something like that. If you pick videos from YouTube, it's fine for us. If you pick a PDF from Scribd or Issuu, it is fine for us. If you download a full research from MIT and share the link, it's fine for us. It's do-it-yourself philosophy behind that research.
Yes, and remember that there is an important curiosity, personal curiosity of all the team. So if it's a brief link, or if it's extended, people will choose their favorite projects. Maybe they have selected 3 and discovered that some other selected one in common, but they have different ideas of the same project. This is what we want to do with this part of the workshop, to get different approaches that we can all learn from them. And yes, Hasem has put it perfectly. Do it yourself. That's the idea. Okay, so I think we can stop now and
see you the next week. And remember to visit Dreamhammer blog. Okay, Urska. Any questions? Fabrizio? Do you have any questions?
Yes. Thank you. Well, my students begin to work on October 7, and now I have not materials for the blog. My students don't talk very good. Are not good speakers. Generally, we talk with the tables, design drawings, and the first operation that my students will make is one sort of map table with the definition of the context, the place, the store target, and in relationship with the town of Famar, or part of the town, the central part of Famar, and then they must make that we know mappa qualitative map, a sort of synthesis of the principal elements of the physical context of the place and the principal relationship with the store target and the town of Famar.
Sorry, Fabrizio.
Okay.
And
Sorry, one thing only. We have two great architects that are very narrative. One of them is Rem Koolhaas, and the only one is Le Corbusier. So when we are talking about
King of the marketing.
when we are talking about narrative, we are not talking about telling stories, but we are talking about how the projects are storytelling. So Rem Koolhaas and Le Corbusier, I think they are the first. They are a good example to your students
on how to communicate
projects. So we are referring here to bottom-up projects. So I think tactical urbanism for your students have to be another layer for their studies of Dreamama. How can we put this community in touch with the square? How can we gather children to the square? Another layer to your usual work with your students. We don't want to lose your work and your processes with your students. We want to add another layer to your usual work. Had I explained it more or less well, Fabrizio?
Yes, we will try.
Okay, just remember.
It's the challenge.
No, and just remember that we are, as architects, we are very visual with narratives. Don't suffer if you're not a good talker or a good speaker. We can exchange drawings, images, comics, videos. So I think it's going to be the funny and enjoyable part of all of this, that we will learn of new ways to communicate, to design, and to think, to understand space, physical space.
Archigram,
yes, for example.
Are other better narrative and storytellers. So, is there any question?
Somebody else have any questions for the next session?
We are going to write it down a post about this to facilitate how the approach to the narrative projects. probably we pick 1 or 2 projects and
as study cases
and share how we are looking at them like narrative or storytelling projects.
Okay, we have to say goodbye now, my friends, because it's time to go, as Urska is saying here on the chat.
So thank you.
Thank you a lot to all of you. No, I'm just kidding, Urska. Sorry. We will try to have ready the post soon, so you have time to read, and as we were telling before, if you have questions, to ask us via email, Twitter, Facebook, whenever you want.
Comments on the blog, whatever. Thank you very much.
See you.